All right. Jets Pope here. I'm going to give a pre-warning before I start this video. Don't watch this with kids. Don't watch this at work. There's going to be a lot of profanity and anger. I'm going to vent a lot off my chest here. And it's not going to be a pretty video. I've made these rant videos in the past. This one's going to be a rough one. I don't even know where to start. Okay. So, Pierre LeBrun reporting today that Kevin Cheveldayoff and Patrik Laine have, or his agent technically, have came to the agreement that it will be best for both parties, aka for Patrik Laine, to part ways, and that he's actively looking for a trade. So essentially we have Jacob Trouba 2.0. So this is the second first-round draft pick, high first-round draft pick in, how many years? Not very many, to basically demand a trade out of the city. And what does that do? That puts the team in a super negative place, because now the other teams have the go-ahead that we need them out and that they can take advantage of us. And understandably, Kevin Cheveldayoff wants to trade Laine before he becomes a Trouba situation and he walks. So let's make a correlation here. So we've got two players, two first-round draft picks that are big parts of our team, or projected to be huge parts of our team going forward in the future on our trip to a Stanley Cup. So what's the connection here? So Jacob Trouba put out a statement with his agent declaring that he wants to be traded because it would be best for his development, as he found he was not being used properly. Coaching. Patrik Laine speaks to a Finnish reporter last year and says that everyone who knows hockey would know that on any other team, I would have the best chance to play with the best players. I'm sub-quoting here, but something along the lines of, there's the top line and then there's our line, but I'll just play where I'm told. Coaching. Paul Maurice, the losingest coach in NHL history, has once again cost us a top draft pick. Now, a lot of people argue, don't compare Trouba and Laine. Like, Trouba wanted to move to the States or whatever, his girlfriend. Those are all rumors, okay? The facts are, not the rumors, the facts that they put out are that he wanted to be traded because he wasn't being used properly. Same thing that's going on for Patrik Laine. You can say, well, he probably doesn't want to live in Winnipeg because, this and this. No, the facts are, he says Winnipeg is good. The facts are, he is not happy with his usage. We are choosing a losingest coach in NHL history who's time and time again shown he doesn't know what he's doing. He was coaching in fucking Russia before we picked him up because no team wanted him because he sucks. Now you can say, well, that's your opinion. Okay, we'll just talk facts for the rest of the video. The fact is, we're choosing the fact that he is the losingest coach in history, and we're choosing him over a 22-year-old superstar that has broke records. This kid is a once-in-a-generation talent. A second-round pick fell into our lap, and we are shooting it away for a loser coach that has shown time and time again that he cannot develop prospects. We're supposed to be a draft and develop franchise. How many draft picks over the past years have been pissed away by this guy? And he chooses to play loser veteran guys that won't be played by any other team over our guys. Why don't we want to play these draft picks that our team picked, that were supposedly a great drafting franchise? We got all these superstars. I can name them forever. And they continuously are pissed away. Why are we playing guys like Mark Letestu and Logan Shaw over a guy like Jansen Harkins or fucking Nick Patan, or there's a million of these guys. JC Lapon. Why are we playing guys like Lucas Spiza and Nathan Beaulieu over guys like, giving a guy like Sami Niku a chance, or giving a guy like Dylan Sandberg or Villahinola? Like, this doesn't, these players watch this happen and they want out of here. They see, Patrik Laine sees that I'm a superstar. I deserve top line minutes, but I'm getting placed behind a Blake Wheeler who is old and aging. And I love Blake Wheeler. I'm a huge Blake Wheeler fan. This isn't a bash Blake Wheeler video, but the truth is he's getting older. And Patrik Laine is the future of the right wing spot on this team. That's where he needs to be. Laine knows that. He knows he'll get that anywhere else because every other coach is probably not stupid like Paul Maurice. So he knows that, and he knows he deserves better. And I agree with him. And you should too. Blake Wheeler, love him. Amazing captain. Goes out, calls out Pallister on Twitter. Great leader for the mask mandate. Love that. Love this guy. He's a great leader. I love him as a Winnipeg Jet. I'll always cheer for him. Probably shouldn't be the future right wing at 34, 35, whatever he is, for this team. Very soon he's going to fall off a cliff. We already saw it a little bit last year. We need a right wing prospect like Patrik Laine to be the future of this team. And then you see guys like, saying, well, he last year Laine played the fifth most minutes in the NHL on the right wing, and he played with Scheifele almost twice as much as Wheeler. Your argument's wrong. You're not telling the whole story here. The only reason Laine played that much with with Scheifele last year was because Little got a career-ending injury, and the team was forced to move Wheeler down to the second line to be center, and additionally also just forced to shake up the lines and move things around. But what happened when we picked up Cody Eakin? All of a sudden now, Laine's back to the second line wing position, and Wheeler's back up at the top. What happens when we go into the playoffs? The most meaningful games that any player can play, and Patrik Laine is just the most competitive player you can ever fucking see. The most competitive fucking player. And what do? Put him on the fucking Cody Eakin. This guy is barely even a fourth line. And Laine, our superstar, is playing with him. And then you wonder, why does this guy want to leave? Because we're playing him with Cody Eakin instead of Mark Scheifele. It makes no sense. It's a fucking disgrace. And I understand fully why he wants out of here. And I will support him fully when he leaves because he's a superstar and he's fucking deserves better. Just like Jacob Trouba deserved better. And you can tell me your opinions on this or that. He wanted to move because of his girlfriend. The truth is, what do we need right now? We are dying for a defenseman. We are dying since Bufflin left for a right-handed defenseman. What the fuck was Jacob Trouba? A right-handed defenseman. And our coach cost us that. This is time and time again with guys like Sami Niku and Nick Patan and all these prospects. And you can say, well, they didn't develop well and, this and that. Because our coach never gave them a chance. And if you're not given the proper opportunities at the proper young ages to develop, you'll never be what you could have been. That's why we need to play these players in those times. Let them make the mistakes. Let them learn. Let them get better. They'll never get better when they're sitting in the fucking press box watching Logan Shaw and Lucas Spiza fucking play minutes. It's a joke. And every time there's a fucking, a slow in the power play, which by the way sucks because our coach doesn't know who to put in the right places. Laine gets moved off that first power play. It made no sense. Why would you move Laine? Why wouldn't you move Blake Wheeler or Kyle Connor? Why would you take off your superstar who's scored more power play goals than we can even imagine in his first 3 seasons here? And the whole argument, well, he was getting time with Scheifele. It's a joke. Where was he 3 out of the 4 seasons he's been here? Where was he when the playoffs were? Where was it when it mattered? Where was he when Little wasn't injured? Not on the first line. It's a joke of a fucking discussion. I got a phone call in the middle of that, so it disrupted it, but this team We'll never succeed with Paul Maurice as our coach. And Chevy is just as fucking part of this now. I used to defend Chevy, trust in Chevy, believe in Chevy, you know, Chevy this, Chevy that. The guy signed Paul Maurice for a 3-year extension. If he was talking to his team, if he understood their reasons, he would know that they're not happy, or at least the young prospects aren't happy. I'm sure the Wheelers of this world and Scheifele's of this world fucking love Paul Maurice because he sucks the cocks of all the veterans. So whatever. It's a joke. It's a joke. And I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch this guy tear apart our team, and he's just signed for 3 more years. It's going to continue down the road. We'll never succeed as a development team, as a team that prides itself on drafting. We'll never succeed with this man as our coach. And we just drafted Cole Perfetti, and in his fucking draft interview, he literally talks about how he can't play on a team with a coach like that. And everyone talks about how smart this kid is. Everyone talks about how smart this kid is. He's smarter than you. He's smarter than your coach. He knows this, knows that. You're telling me that he doesn't know this shit? He's probably done research on this shit, and he probably fucking knows about Paul Maurice and his draft issues, just like a lot of us know and have realized that watching this team religiously. And he probably fucking sees this shit and is worried for his future. And that's why he mentioned it in his first, and you know, that's a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but I believe there's a chance of that. I've got another conspiracy for you. Why do you think fucking Dustin Byfuglien left? Why do you think Dustin Byfuglien all of a sudden just took off the skates and left? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I bet you part of it was he knew he was never going to win anything with this team. Because he watched what happened to his buddy Toby Enstrom get sat in the fucking Western Conference Finals in the most meaningful fucking game of his entire career after he did everything for this franchise so that we could play who? Fucking Ben Sherratt? Don't get me wrong. Wouldn't mind Ben Sherratt on my team. He's no Toby Enstrom, and he certainly shouldn't have been benched for him after he waived his no-trade clause to Vegas and all these things that he did for this team after he worked his ass off his entire career. I bet you Byfuglien saw that and said, fuck this, man, I'm out. And I can see why Trouba did it, and I can see why Laine's doing it, and they're not going to be the first, and they're not going to be the last, and we need to put a stop to this. Fuck the Maurice. Fuck this system. Fuck Chevy for signing Maurice. We'll never succeed as a franchise with these goons in charge, and that's my rant. We're gonna have the pom-poms who continue to, tell me I'm a bad fan, tell me I'm a bad fan for trashing my team and trashing my organization, and I need to have faith. Bro, I got fucking faith. All I got is faith. I watch every goddamn game, sometimes more than once. My entire life revolves around this team. And you're going to tell me I'm a bad fan? This has nothing to do with my fandom. This has to do with the fact that I can see through the mirrors, the smoke and mirrors that are painted by the media in this town. Don't get me started on that, but boy, do they do a good job of propagandizing this fucking team. They like to tell you the story they want you to tell you, not the story that's the truth. And the truth is that there's a power issue in this team, a power issue in this franchise, and no one knows where it comes from, exactly, but all I know is that for whatever reason, they're choosing the losingest coach in history. No coach has ever lost more than this guy, who knows how to lose more than this guy, than Paul Maurice, and they're choosing him over a 22-year-old superstar that he's going to make us pay. Every game he plays against us, he's going to score the lights out. Get ready to throw your fucking hats on the fucking ice when he comes to Winnipeg, because you damn know he's going to make us pay. Just like we regretted Teemu Selanne, we will regret this trade, and part of me is going to be happy for the kid because he deserves it, and because maybe then, when Patrik Laine comes in here, and I don't know what team he's going to get traded to, but whether it's the playoffs or regular season, when he comes in here and claps fucking a hattie, and all the fans are booing him when he comes out, and booing the hats being thrown on the ice, maybe, just maybe, Chipman, it will click in for him then. that it's time to get rid of this fucking loser coach. And probably Chevy, even though I've liked him in the past, but he's done this now. He's given Paul Maurice these tools. He signs the Spizas. He signs the Nate Thompsons. And he gives the extension to Chevy to allow this crumbling of this franchise and the draft and develop fucking future of this franchise. And maybe then, maybe just then, we can be happy again as believing in the future of this franchise, because maybe then he will say, it's time for change.